Oh, welcome everybody to Wager Talk Today. I am Lawrence Presman. He is Teddy. Covers in the background. Marco sits shaking his head. Teddy, my brother, happy Easter to all of you people. What? Who is on the show? What will they be talking about?
Yeah, happy Easter to all you people. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to spend with us right here on Wager Talk Today. Monday's Wager Talk Today show leads off with Marc D'Angelo. He's going to talk the Brewers and the D-backs, the Astros and the Pirates, a pair in MLB action. Bryan Leonard's going to join us next. He's got a pair in the NHL. He wants to talk about Nashville and Calgary, Seattle and Arizona. My big game breakdown. We're going to talk some Angels Nationals in MLB action. And Drew Martin's going to close out the show with the Cardinals Rockies and Yankees Guardians breakdowns. If we get 100 likes, Prez will do his presidential address. At the end of the show, you get some more free plays before we're through. But that's who we have. Let's get right into it.
Teddy, the daily presidential address isn't about free plays. It's about free money. I give out free money. And
Nice.
And so does Marco. I mean, Marco D'Angelo, Jesus, man, comes on the show. Everything that comes out of his mouth seems to hit. He's absolutely rolling right now, 19-9 his last 4 days. He wants me to go on and on about him ad nauseum, but I shrivel, man. Like, I can't. Marco, why don't you tell us, bro? How are you? Welcome to the show.
Else, but I'll be a nice guy there. Prez, it's been so long since I've seen you on. It seems like you're either vacationing or ducking me to promote me. I don't know which it is, because it seems like every time I come in with something good on Monday, there's no Prez. But here you are, so I'll enjoy the moment right now.
So let me go through this, Marco. I'm the number 2 handicapper in the last 3 days. I'm the number 3 handicapper in the last 7 days. I'm the number 3 handicapper in the last 30 days. And I'm the number 1 handicapper in the last 6 months. When have you ever promoted me?
Well, we don't. The last time you were on Bet on it, I promoted you.
We're equal co-owners. We're equal co-owners.
Yeah.
You own, I own, we both own Wager Talk. I end up promoting you. You now just gave me shit for ducking promoting you. When was the last tweet you sent out talking about how good I'm doing?
I'll just say that when was the last time that I tagged you in a tweet to promote me?
Yeah. And yet I sit Monday after Monday talking about how great you are. Teddy is getting sick listening to this.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Yeah.
I'm sure this is what our audience wants to hear on a Monday morning. They came into the show to hear you guys fight about who's I'm sure.
Well, he started it. Milwaukee plus 120. Okay, enough.
To promote other people and to move the show along. So far, you're 0 for 2. Marco, let's get into it.
Okay.
All right, Teddy. It's Monday in baseball, and this will be the first baseball show I've got to do with you guys here, picking some winners in baseball. And what I like to do is not only give you guys what I like today, but I like to do a little bit of teaching. And this is a first game, Milwaukee at Arizona. This is what I put under the category of a fat and sassy Monday play. And what I mean by that is I like to find a team that had a very, very good weekend and look to fade them on a manic Monday. You look at crowds, home crowds, they're always going to be, bigger crowds on the weekend for baseball than you're going to see on a Monday night. And look if they're stepping up or down in class. Well, I'm going to zero in on Arizona. What a weekend for them. It was their opening weekend of the season. They dropped their home opener to the Dodgers on Thursday and proceeded to win the next 3 games. That was a monster series for Arizona to take 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers. Now you've got Milwaukee coming to town. It's a Monday night. You know it's going to be a smaller crowd, obviously less intense crowd. Won't be as excited to see Milwaukee as you would be to see the Dodgers come into your ballpark. And I'm looking at this pitching matchup. First, of everything that I just said, all automatically would have me looking at Milwaukee. But then you go to, let's look at the stats. And the stats are, I'm looking at an Arizona starter in Zach Gallen, who was very good last year, but off to a very slow start this year. He's pitched 10 2/3 innings in 2 starts. He's allowed 9 earned runs in those 2 starts. I'm looking at Wade Miley. Now, I know Wade Miley is one of those guys that the sabermetrics guys, advanced metrics, all of that, they just hate this guy because his numbers don't always coordinate with what he ends up doing. He's one of those guys that overachieves, so to speak. Well, he's going to do that again, and I'm going to go ahead and take him here because he's pitched 10 innings, and he's allowed just 1 earned run so far. So given everything that I've said about, I think this is a flat spot for Arizona. You've got Milwaukee coming off a big series over the weekend themselves, but they're going out on the road. I like to take teams off a win going out on the road to start a road trip to continue that streak. So I am going to take Milwaukee. Now, I will say this, Teddy. Normally, I would be looking, because of the disparity in the starting pitchers that I'm looking at, I would look at a first 5-inning wager. But in today's game, I'm going to go full game. And the reason for that being is look at what Arizona had to do to win their games. The last 2 games were high-scoring games. They gave up a lot of runs in those 2 wins, which means they burned some bullpen as well to secure the wins. So I think if the game is tight late, advantage Milwaukee. So thus, I'm taking Milwaukee full game is an underdog play.
Are you going to have to explain this part of it to me, Marco? Because it feels to me like Milwaukee's coming off every bit as big of a series. They're in every bit as big of a flat spot. And it's not just one series. Look at the Brewers, every series so far this season. They played the Cubs in Chicago. That's a get-up-for-it series. They had their home opener and swept the Mets. And then they just took St. Louis, the division rival, the team that they're battling with all year for the division title there. And you're like, well, they go on the road, so it's fine. Isn't this every bit as big a flat spot in theory for the road team as it is for the home team?
On paper, I agree with you, Teddy, but it's just one of those angles. 2 angles that I love in pro sports. I love fading a team coming home off of a road trip, and I like taking a good team the first game on a road trip. And that's where I'm going with the difference in that one. But you're right. Yeah, they are coming off a big series because everybody feels St. Louis is the team to win that division this year, even though Milwaukee every year has been in the running. A lot of good experts that I respect think Milwaukee's going to take a step backwards, but they're doing something else that they always do, Teddy, and I saved it for your cross-examination. I don't know why the Brewers do it, but every year they get off the fast starts. And with the record they got already this year, 7-2 out of the gate, that now brings them the last 3 Aprils to 38-18. That I can't explain to you, but there's a number there that for whatever reason, this team gets off the fast starts.
Marc
Real
D'Angelo.
quick, I can explain it to you.
Go ahead.
Because that's an interesting number. The early portion of the Brewers' schedule, if you go back and look, they tend to face a lot more teams from their own division, which is maybe the weakest division in baseball, one of them. They've been able to beat up on bad teams early in April. That's at least part of the reason why they've gotten off to some of the good starts. That is not the case this year. They had a couple of games against Chicago, who wasn't very good this year. But the rest, and St. Louis as well. So they've been facing some of the teams in their division, but they haven't faced as many bottom feeders as they normally do in April. I think that's at least part of the equation. Lawrence?
Great stuff. Marco D'Angelo joining us, everyone. Marco, let's go right into your next game. Pittsburgh playing Houston, and man, a great start to the season for Pittsburgh. They just won again, 1-0 against the White Sox. Now they are on a 5-1 run, dude. Where are you going in this game? Is Houston going to get their act together? 3-6 to start the year, 4-6.
Yeah, this is another one where, I'm going to go ahead and kind of pull the old Monday where I'm looking at a fat and sassy team because the Pirates, as you talk about this division and being poor, the Pirates, by a lot of experts, are supposed to finish last this year in this division, and they're off to a very surprising start. I'm looking at Houston, who a team that has been, a perennial powerhouse, in the American League. They're off to a slow start. I am going to look at Valdez for Houston in this one, because even though Houston's off to a slow start, it's really not this guy's fault. He's had 2 excellent starts. He's 0-1 to start the season, but it's not his fault at all. In his 2 starts, he's given up a grand total of 2 earned runs. In 12 innings pitched, this is the big indicator why I like him in this outing. He's got a 13-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Guys, when you're dealing 13-1 strikeout to walk ratio, to me, that is the best indicator that this guy's had command of all of his pitchers so far this season. And that's important. If you're fooling the hitters, you've got a tremendous edge on your opponents. That's why I'm lining up on Houston in this one. On the other side of the coin, Contreras for the Pirates has only made 1 start. Now, granted, on paper, it looks like a good start. He went 5 2/3 innings, only gave up 1 run. The difference in him is strikeout to walk ratio. He had 2 strikeouts to 1 walk. Nothing to write home about. And I look at this one, I'm going to take Houston, and you're going to say, okay, yeah, sure, take the big chalk. Well, there's a way to bring that big chalk down. And unlike the first game where I said I wanted to go full game with Milwaukee because I thought there was an edge in the bullpen, I think there's a bigger edge in the first 5 innings. And so what I'm going to do is go first 5 innings, but I'm going to lay a half a run. So now we turn a 176, 180 favorite into a minus 120 and laying a half a run. I believe he will outpitch Contreras. That's Valdez. He'll get the job done for me, and I can win this one in 5 innings, take the bullpens out of the equation. And so far this season, the Houston bullpen has not been that good. They've given up some runs in some key games where they did have the lead or tied late. And I'll throw you 2 stats. I maybe should have saved it for the counterpunch from Teddy, but here's my stats on this one. Pittsburgh has won 5 of their last 6 games. Over the last 3 seasons, when they have won 4 of their last 5, they are just 3-17. So they did get one of those wins yesterday because they were 4-1 going into yesterday's game. And Houston, when they allow 1 run or less in the previous game, the last 2 seasons, they're 36-13. So I'm going to go ahead and back the Astros first 5 innings and lay the half a run.
So real quick, Marco, because you made a strong and extensive case for the Astros first 5, I just want to ask you conceptually. Pirates, not supposed to be a good team, but they're hot. Astros supposed to be elite, but they're not. Isn't this the opposite of what we're trying to do in baseball? Aren't we trying to bet on hot teams and against cold teams? And this is the opposite of that.
It is the opposite of that, but yeah, with me being as close to the Pirates as I am, I just think this is one of those cases of smoke and mirrors. I'm sorry. I've seen this movie way too many times, Teddy, and I can tell you the ending is generally not good, okay? Instead of it being a PG movie, it generally turns into a horror flick, NC-17. You don't want to see the ending of this one. I can't buy into the Pirates. They got one of the smallest, if not the smallest, payrolls in baseball. I know when our next guest comes on, he can tell you what they got in the minor leagues, if there's prospects that they got up that they can help this team, but I'm not buying it.
Speaking of our next guest, one thing we can count on is short, concise, to the point, good hair. There, Brian, I got good hair in. Marc D'Angelo, 19-9 run in his last 4 days. Up over $3,000 for $100 bettors. For some reason, he put in here that he's number 1 in basketball this year. Don't know why he didn't just pick darts, given how much basketball is going to be played today. But anyway, $9 Mondays. What do you got?
I've got a 4% play in Major League Baseball. And the reason I put that basketball in there is you, as the host, are supposed to promote. We've got a special going at WagerTalk. It starts now through the Hall of Fame game, which includes all sports for $4.99. So what's going to take center stage tomorrow? NBA playoffs. You can get all my plays, any cappers plays through August 3rd, I believe, the Thursday of the Hall of Fame game for $4.99. So there, Prez, once again, I had to come and do your job and promote as the semi-host
Amazing.
today. What can I say?
Well, Mark, and you know what, Marco? You did such a great job. Now get the hell out of here. Oh,
have a
Teddy,
good day, guys.
pick on the Prez Day, or otherwise known as Every Day. And I love it. How are you, brother? What did we learn in the wonderful world of sports betting?
We got to talk about the A's and the Rays in Tampa this weekend, because that's a series, to me, that speaks a lot about the bigger picture of baseball. The Rays were off to a red-hot start. They went 6-0 against the Tigers and the Nationals. They're expected to be an AL East contender. The A's among the worst teams in baseball, and everyone knows it, and they played like the worst team in baseball, one of the worst teams in baseball in their first two series, and then traveled to Tampa. Friday, Tampa's minus 260. Saturday, Tampa's minus 280. Sunday, Tampa's minus $3. They win those games 9-5, 11-0, and 11-0. The run line was good. The team total over was good. The first five was good. The first five run line was good. The full game was good. It didn't matter how you bet the Rays against the Nats. You made money if you bet the Rays against the Nats. Every bet was right. Now, the consensus numbers on Tampa were 80% plus range. No public bettor wants a dog in those games. It didn't matter. Tampa bombed them all three games. Contrarian strategies in baseball can work sometimes, but it's no way to be betting day after day. The MLB markets can't ever turn a winner into a loser. A point spread can turn a winner into a loser. Happens all the time. You know, you see it in the NFL, you see it in the NBA. Oh, wow, all of a sudden they're laying 17 and they win by 16. Winner? No, because the point spread's too high. MLB doesn't happen that way. The bookmakers will have bad days. They'll have bad series. We can take advantage. And this, frankly, was one of them. Won't be the only one. We'll see. That was a disaster for the bookmakers in the month of April. A's versus Rays gave me something to talk about and something I learned this past week. We're going to reinforce the lesson. Lawrence, back to you, Mike.
There you go, Teddy Covers. Nice to have you back, man. Bryan Leonard joining us. Bri, I'm excited to talk about this Calgary-Nashville game, this Calgary Flames team. My God, if I was a fan of that team, I'd be pulling my damn hair out. I'd look like Marco, to be honest with you. I mean, here we have a team who can't beat Chicago. The next day they come back and beat Winnipeg. Then they screw up against Vancouver. Now they're playing Nashville, who's also frustrated their fandom. Let's get straight into it, man, because this game is huge for tonight. It's really going to dictate whether either one of these teams have a shot to catch Winnipeg. How you betting this game, bro?
How's everything going, by the way? I'm going to talk hockey in just a second. I just want to touch on a couple things that were talked about. I'm doing this show, I'm doing the NBA show, and I'm doing the baseball show today. So I decided hockey here because I didn't do the hockey show today. I'll do baseball and basketball later. But Marco likes his little situations he uses, but then he tends to ignore the ones he normally uses. Cruz was hurt yesterday in the Pittsburgh game. He's the best player Pittsburgh has. He's their future. He slides into home plate, screws up his leg. He's going to be out for 10 to 12 weeks. Now, normally, Marco would say, well, this is the game you want to play on the Pirates. It's the injured theory. And he missed it today. He gave out the other side. I don't agree with him. I'm more with you, Teddy. Houston's just not playing well right now. And as for the Oakland A's, they've got the worst starting pitching staff that I can remember. They've got some guys in the bullpen who are pretty good. Their hitters are decent. I think we can make some money betting team totals over for Oakland. I think that's the way to play Oakland if you're looking to play Oakland, because their starting pitchers are so bad. They brought in that guy from Japan who was lousy, and Tokyo Brandon would even talk about that. And he should not have been signed to the major leagues, and they spent a lot of money on him. Okay, now we go into the hockey. What I want to look at here, at the end of the NBA season, regular season, the end of the hockey season, it's tough to bet. But we've got a game here tonight in Nashville and Calgary that both teams are still alive for the playoffs. In the first two meetings this year, they scored a combined 8 goals. They scored 6 and they scored 4, I believe. I like to play teams in this regard. You know it's a playoff atmosphere. We saw this the other day in the Winnipeg game. They went 2-0. I like this game to go under. First of all, Nashville can't win in a shootout. They don't have the ability to win in the shootout. And if you took a look at, if you follow Money Puck on Twitter, he ranks the goalies this year, and the Boston goalie has been great all year, and he's probably going to win the trophy for him. But Saros is now the season leader in goals above expected for Nashville. Nashville's defense has been terrific all season. They don't score a lot of goals, but they do play great defense. Calgary, as you mentioned, this team throws shots on goal. If you're looking at expected goals this year and you're betting expected goals, you've lost a fortune betting on Calgary. Calgary's a team that throws a lot of shots on goal. They don't get in the goal. It's at this point in the season, that's just who they are. The Preds won both the previous two meetings and are 4-0-1 in this series. The Flames have scored 8 total goals in their last 3 games. They're not scoring a lot right here. Not only do I like the under in this game, I think Nashville is a live underdog. Calgary's a team I'm looking to fade just because a team needs to win. And of course, in both teams in this one do. Just because a team needs to win does not mean that they're going to win, and they shouldn't be in that position anyway. So I like the under. I like Nashville, but we'll go with the under as my play on this.
So we're seeing this total bet down. I'm seeing 6 minus 25 to the under versus 5.5 with a little juice to the over. Is this one of these deals you got to shop for the 6, or are you comfortable playing this even at 5.5?
Well, it's not an odd number. The odd numbers are something you really got to shoot for, because if you go to overtime, you're always going to end up with an odd number. 6 is fine. 5.5 is fine. If you can get a better number, you just have to compare it. But I like the under in this one. And to me, the only way Nashville could compete is defensively. They're not going to be able to shoot out with this team. And so I like the under and the side on the underdog.
Bryan Leonard. I'm with you, dude. The under to me makes a lot of sense. I'm actually personally betting it. It's going to be one of the plays in my daily presidential address. I think we see a 3-1 hockey game. And I agree with you as well. Nashville is live. Brian, let's turn our attention to baseball. Seattle at Arizona. How do we bet this game?
Well, actually, this is the hockey game. As I just told you, I'll be doing baseball on the baseball show.
Sorry.
That's okay. It happens. It's early in the morning. We're taking a look at the Seattle and Arizona game. And this is an interesting game because Arizona will have now played Seattle 3 of their last 4 games.
Wow.
How many times do you play a 4-game schedule playing 3 of the same team?
Never.
It's really strange. Seattle won the first 2 meetings, 8-1 and 4-2. Seattle's just clinched the playoffs for the first time in their brief history of 2 years. But Arizona is one of those teams I've been able to bet on this season at home. They've been very good. They're terrible on the road, whether you lost 27 straight or something of that nature. But at home, they're a totally different team. They played Seattle the last two out of the last 3 games they played. They know Seattle very well. Arizona's on a 13-10 straight up run at home. I like them here, plus the 1.5. Seattle is still trying to not have to, trying to get a better playoff seed. But as we've spoken in the past, playoff seeds mean really nothing compared to getting the playoffs and not getting in them. So I think Seattle's going to have a little bit of a letdown here. I like Arizona, but just to play a little safe, I'll take Arizona plus the 1.5.
Brian says, look at Arizona plus 1.5 in NHL action against Seattle. Of course, we already broke down Arizona's baseball game against not Seattle on this show.
Teddy.
On the show, we broke it down.
I love you,
with
Teddy.
Marco.
I love that you literally asked to go next in Slack just so that you can piss on me. Okay, brother. Well, good
fun
thing
to do.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're having a show like you're having today,
you feel
it's got
better
to be
about
done,
yourself.
man.
You feel better about yourself.
Lawrence,
dude,
you're having a little bit of a rough show today. I'm just trying to help. Brian,
I know.
What do you have to promote? I know NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, MLB. Talk about what you have going right now over at WagerTalk.com.
Yeah, right now we're using 3 plays up in baseball. I got a package up for $9 today. But I do want to talk a little bit about the playoffs in the NBA and the NHL. Unlike you, Teddy, you are a guy that follows the NBA harder than anybody. You're very good in the NBA. You excel in that regard. I excel in the NBA playoffs, and the reason being, I know who's going to play. And I've done very well in the NBA playoffs, done very well in the NHL playoffs. And these 2 spots here coming up where I think we can make a lot of money in that regard. And we got baseball going on as well. So looking forward to it. I'm probably going to put up that under as a play for my clients in the first game we talked about. So, but that's about what I got today. 3 baseball for $9.
Bryan Leonard, outstanding stuff. Thanks, Bry. Teddy, man, do you think this NBA, do you think they're going to get a grip on this purposeful tanking and the load management? I mean, is this just going to continue and continue and continue for years to come, or is Adam Silver going to say enough is enough?
It's been going on since I've been in Vegas. I've been here 25 years.
Not like it is now. That is not true. I do not remember Michael Jordan taking every 3rd game off. And what the Dallas Mavericks did a couple of nights ago, come on, man. No, it has not.
What do you mean, come on? No. From an organizational standpoint, it was the right move for Dallas to make. It was. Not close. Yeah. Because they had a top 10 protected lottery pick that they want.
I know. I know.
There's it had to do with a bad trade that they made. So be it.
Did you watch
when
the
we
Masters?
Come back, my big game breakdown and Drew Martin breaking down some MLB. Wager Talk Today continues after this brief.
Baseball is back, and with the NBA and NHL playoffs around the corner, we have a fantastic offer to keep you in action from the first pitch to the kickoff of the upcoming NFL season. We have you covered with every client release, including any 5% best bets from your favorite Wager Talk or Sports Memo handicapper from the day you sign up to the 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame game when the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets kick off at 8 p.m. on Thursday, August 3rd for under $4.50 per day, coming out to just $32 per week. To lock in your favorite Wager Talk or Sports Memo expert through the start of the NFL preseason, it would cost you well over $1,000, but for a limited time, pay only $4.99, coming out to just under $4.51 per day. As an added bonus, your access begins when you sign up, so the earlier you do, the more free days you'll get. This offer will include all sports and any 5% best bets played during this time, so act fast and lock in your favorite Wager Talk or Sports Memo handicapper through the start of the football season for the lowest price possible. This incredible playoffs to preseason kickoff promotion ends at midnight on Monday, April 17th.
It is time for today's big game breakdown. Let's go out to LA and talk about the Nets and the Angels. Right now, look at the Wager Talk live odds screen. LA minus 240, let's call it. There's some variance there. Total, there are 9.5s and 10s available. You like the over, and we do. Look for a 9.5. You can get one if you shop around. The Nationals bats just came alive over the weekend. 10, 7, and 6 runs scored. I know it was a Coors Field, but they were hitting the baseball. 3 overs in the 3 games and a pair of wins. They come out of Colorado with a worn-down bullpen. They were used up in a trio of wild games. That's bad news with Patrick Corbin on the hill. Tokyo Brandon called him the worst starter in baseball, and certainly he's been the worst starter in baseball, one of them. So far this season, it was as bad as anyone in the majors last year. Corbin's got a contract. They got to pay him, and the Nationals don't have anyone that'll take it. But 9 innings pitched in 2 starts this year. He's allowed 17 hits, 3 walks, and 10 runs. The Angels lineup on fire all weekend, scored 20 runs the last 2 games against the Blue Jays right here. Angels team total over, certainly worth a look. Full game over, worth a look. LA run line, worth a look? I don't think so. The Angels bullpen got lit up all weekend too. Really, really rough game yesterday. Not a fresh, rested unit. Jose Suarez got bombed in Seattle in his opener, 7 runs in 4 1/3. He doesn't eat up innings. He was worse at home than he was on the road last year. So it's hard for me to trust LA with a lead today. That means we're looking at the total, not the side. Over, however you want to get there. But you can do some over 9.5 with some juice right now at currently available numbers. That's the way I'm looking, and that's what I would recommend. Look for LA and Washington to have a relatively high-scoring affair on Monday night. There's your big game breakdown. Back to you, Mr. Lawrence.
Teddy covers, great stuff. We got 76 likes, 330 of you guys watching the show. We need another 24 likes if you want a daily presidential address. And Teddy, before we bring Drew Martin in, Michael Johnson writes, who pays for picks and why? Well, I'm going to answer that question very quickly. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people pay for picks. And why? Just ask anybody who purchased my last year package. Ask anyone who purchased my last 6-month package, my last 30-day package, my last 7-day package, my last 3-day package. Ask anybody who's playing Teddy Covers NBA package. Ask any one of Tokyo Brandon's clients why they buy his picks. Ask Drew Martin's clients why they buy his picks. The reason is simple. We do all the work and we consistently win over a long period of time. Drew Martin joining us. How are you, Drew?
And hey, happy to be on with you guys. Thanks for having me.
Well, listen, dude, I've missed you because I haven't seen you in a month, and you're absolutely one of the best guests we have. So I am excited to finally do a show with you. Let's get right into it, brother. St. Louis, Colorado. How do we bet this game?
I like this game a lot, Prez. Colorado's a team where I'm actually, I have them circled to watch here. I think they might be a little bit underrated, but I'm actually going after this from a totals perspective. And I say underrated just because so many people like threw them off the boat type deal, looking to fade them only. But totals wise in this one, Prez, it was 11 last night and now it's 11.5. So it looks like the market kind of pumping it up. Some of that being my money. And look, we get the Cardinals with, if you ask yourself, who has the best batting average in MLB to this point in the season? You might not guess the Cardinals. Their batting average is over 300, 307. And batting average isn't the most important stat out there, guys. But with this shift, the new shift rules, I actually think batting average is a little bit more important. The bat-to-ball skills, putting the ball in play. Sure enough, the Cardinals lineup is taking advantage. They're top 5 in MLB by weighted runs created plus. That's a little bit more of an advanced metric. Either way you shake it, a top 5 lineup heading to elevation. I think that boosts their offensive potential tonight. Colorado, they're going with Marquez as their starting pitcher. He has near 1,000 team OPS against when facing the Cardinals. So I think the Cardinals are really going to put up some crooked numbers tonight. And looking at the Cardinals starting pitcher, Steven Matz, the lefty, he's pitched in Coors Field 3 times in his career. He has over a 1,000 team OPS against when pitching over a mile high here. So I think a lot projects starting pitcher lineup-wise to a ton of runs. And then you get to the later innings. Both of these two bullpens, by my bullpen ratings, are bottom half in MLB. 11.5. Hey, I liked it more at 11. I'll still bet it at 11.5 here, Prez. Get up and over with the Cardinals and Rockies tonight.
So my numbers show Marquez has had pretty good success against St. Louis. And my numbers also show that the Cardinals have been held to 2 runs or less 4 times in their last 5 games. They're not hitting the baseball. You talk about they're hitting for average, but they ain't plating those runs, and they've cashed 5 consecutive unders. So on the one hand, we got a pitcher with that my numbers show a good track record against an opponent, and that same opponent who we're counting on to score a bunch of runs, their bats They're not plating runs at all of late. Either of those concern you for this one, Drew?
Well, I mean, I guess you could say, the Cardinals having 5 straight unders would concern me a little bit, but heading to elevation, I think that would kind of wipe that one out. Your Marquez numbers, that makes me want to check them here, Teddy. I guess it's not great live TV, but one of us is going to be incorrect here because
I got a 2.83 ERA and 8 career starts against him for his career splits. That's all I look.
Well, it's terrible live television, but I guess we got to do it because one of us is going to be incorrect.
Well, I'm just going to wait it out, I guess, because, well,
drama.
While you guys do that,
music.
I'll mention that Parker suggests that it's time for another Prez vacation. First off, Parker, I love your name. Love it. Secondly, I take a vacation close to every night at around 9 p.m. Eastern, so I'll take another one tonight. Thank you, brother. Appreciate your kind words. Andrew says I need to listen to some Dead today. Teddy, if you were to listen to one Dead song today, what would it be?
I don't know. I don't have Dead in my head today.
Cassidy. I feel a Cassidy kind of a day coming. So did we find out the info?
It is loading right now. Yeah, I have 909 team OPS, Teddy, so I don't know what you're looking at. 117 plate appearances against the Cardinals with a .909 team OPS against. Now, he's been shelled against the Cardinals, man.
That's okay. I'm showing a 2.83 lifetime ERA and 8 starts against them. So we clearly have some differing numbers somewhere. Nonetheless, good luck with your over. Let's talk about the second game.
There we go. Cleveland Yankees. I'm on this game. I got it. It's one of my 3 MLB plays for my clients. Curious how you're betting it, Drew. Talk to me.
Yeah, and I just want to follow up, Teddy. I don't use ERA. I would definitely recommend using on base plus slugging percentage. That would be in my opinion, a more accurate metric, which he's up over 900. Yeah. For the Yankees and the team with a new name called the Guardians here, Cleveland, terrible team name, but hey, is what it is. I'm looking to fade their pitcher here, Bieber, guys. A lot of people know his name, Shane Bieber. He used to be really good. One thing I like to do in MLB is find guys where their velocity has decreased and look to bet against them. A lot of times that's a telltale sign for an injury. And sure enough, Shane Bieber, in his first 2 outings, he's averaging just 90 miles per hour. That's 90 miles per hour flat with his fastball. And in my opinion, he's getting a kind of step up in class in the lineup he's facing. He's faced the Mariners and the A's from lineup wise. Now he's going up against the Yankees. By weighted runs created plus number, the Yankees number 3 lineup in baseball. So laying a -150 price tag here with Cleveland is not the way I would go with it. In fact, plus 135 on the other side with the Bronx Bombers in the happy hour special here, Prez. I think that the Yankees at the plus price is underdog is barking in this one, guys.
This is the first time all year the Yankees have been dogs, right? Isn't that for a reason?
Oh, here we go again. Why don't you guys take a look? Check it out. It would be appreciated, Teddy, if you actually prepared for the show.
So with the Marquez numbers, Drew was talking about OPS and
I know,
the more advanced metric numbers. And while the guest is talking, I try to find something number to ask him about. And the number that I called up real quick was Marquez ERA against Colorado or against St. Louis. So hence the using of the ERA there, because I don't have the night before to prepare the questions. Drew.
Yeah, I'm seeing the Yankees as favorites, at least in the last 3 games. Again, live television trying to be good for the watcher here. So, see him at a plus price. I mean, on the road, again, I'd go back to the velocity is down, keeping it simple, guys. It's kind of a little angle that I like to try to go against, and that's Shane Bieber. He's just throwing 90 miles per hour. There's guys in high school throwing a lot faster than that. So I think the Yankees get after him, plus 135 on the Yanks.
There you go, Drew Martin, everyone. Drew, what do you got to promote, man?
Well, actually, I got a little free play run here. I don't know if you guys saw in the back end. We keep track of our free play record. Yeah, how about that? A little 100%, and got one going tonight as well. So check it out on my page. And of course, $9 Monday there, Prez, on a 7-1 4% run, and got 4 plays up for tonight. So $9 Monday, guys. Great day to check it out, and go head over and read that free play on a nice 7-0 run. That's always good in the sports betting world.
Beautiful stuff. Drew Martin joining us. Love having him on. Teddy, we got a hard stop in 3 minutes. We do have enough likes for the daily presidential address. Daniel's son. Hey, dude, you can mock my, if you are not betting my presidential plays, you're an idiot.
So that wasn't a mock. That was me cheering that we got 100 likes. Mr. Super Sensitive today. Jeez,
I know somebody else said that in the chat room, that I'm super
sensitive. You're being
today.
A little whiny baby. Presidential address starts right now.
All right, guys, I got 2 NHL plays for you tonight, and I actually love both of them. Personally betting both of them as well. So stay tuned for that. Before we get into that, a quick statement. We got an incredible promotion up. It's up for 1 week only. It ends on the 17th of April at midnight PST. And that is $499 until the Hall of Fame game. All sports combined, all plays that the handicapper puts out, $499. The regular price would be $1,000. It's half price. And if you're asking yourself which handicapper to play, look, I'm good with anybody. I mean, Tokyo Brandon is like kicks ass. Teddy covers, kicks ass. Mark O'Brien, Drew. I mean, the whole website. We do a ton of work screening these guys, and you're good to buy anybody. With that said, I'm literally the number one handicapper since October 1st by far. I'm up in every single sport except NHL, and I'm at minus half a unit in NHL. By tomorrow, I will be up in NHL as well. I'm absolutely dominating right now, and I cannot stress enough how incredible it's been for 6 straight months. I went 4-0 yesterday. I'm on a 10-3 run. So if you're going to buy a handicapper for that $499, check me out. Of course, anybody is worthy of purchase. As for your plays tonight, I'm going to take the under in the Calgary Flames game. I absolutely love this play. It's going to be a 3-1 score. 5.5 is the number. This is one of my favorite plays on the board. And I also love the Winnipeg Jets minus 1.5 against San Jose. That's it for me, Teddy. It's 12:45. Your heart out has been successfully achieved. Take us home.
That's going to wrap it for Wager Talk today. On Monday, we'll do it again. Same time, same channel, right here on Wager Talk TV tomorrow, 9 a.m. here on the left coast, noon for you back east. Between now and then, you guys know what to do. Enjoy the games, and best of luck with all your wagers.
Baseball is back, and with the NBA and NHL playoffs around the corner, we have a fantastic offer to keep you in action from the first pitch to the kickoff of the upcoming NFL season. We have you covered with every client release, including any 5% best bets from your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper from the day you sign up to the 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame game when the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets kick off at 8 p.m. on Thursday, August 3rd for under $4.50 per day, coming out to just $32 per week. To lock in your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo expert through the start of the NFL preseason, it would cost you well over $1,000, but for a limited time, pay only $4.99, coming out to just under $4.51 per day. As an added bonus, your access begins when you sign up, so the earlier you do, the more free days you'll get. This offer will include all sports and any 5% best bets played during this time, so act fast and lock in your favorite WagerTalk or Sports Memo handicapper through the start of the football season for the lowest price possible. This incredible playoffs to preseason kickoff promotion ends at midnight on Monday, April 17th.